I appreciate you guys being patient with me. I know it's been a while since I've put out a video. A lot of things have happened in the last month. For the last 3 weeks, I was on the road down in Florida. Wayne and I did really well. I'm hoping to post the video on the Big Bet Mix soon. It probably won't be until mid-May before I get that out. It is every single hand that I played in the Big Bet Mix. And I am going to post a few videos on some advanced play with Badoogie and Deuce to 7 triple draw, as I've focused on those games a little bit more recently. And I believe that some of the strategies that I incorporated were key to finishing at the final table and going 1 and 2 with Wayne. After being in Florida for 3 weeks, I've just been busy. I've been busy getting prepared for the series. You guys have to keep in mind, I'm a poker player first, a content creator second. So again, my apologies on taking a month to put out a video, but it's one of those things when you're focused on earning money for a living by grinding, it's hard to justify making a video that does reach out to your audience, but only ends up netting you $4 or $5. And what I mean by that is, if I spend 8 hours editing a video, that amount of time I could spend on the tables. And when you track your results and you're making whatever it is I'm making, I think tournament play I'm making $40-some an hour, cash game play I'm making $60-some an hour. So you could say, in order for me to make a video and to put 8 hours into it, it actually costs me about $400, give or take a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean, hey, we need more subscribers or whatever the case may be. It just means that my time prepping for the series, because I have what I consider a larger package for myself. It's a 10K that I'm playing, buying into basically $30,000 worth of tournaments. It's something I've done. I did 2 years ago. I bought into about $30,000 worth of tournaments. But I feel like this time going into Vegas is going to be a little bit different than the previous times. I'm a little bit more prepped, a little bit more prepared, and I feel like it's my time to make my mark in the World Series of Poker. So there's a lot of preparation that goes into it. There's mental focus and fortitude. I still have my 100 to 10K challenge, which, by the way, if you're not familiar with what that is, I'm buying into the 125 Big O for $100. I can rebuy as many times as I want, and I'm going to sit there until I have $10,000 in front of me. And I've got a couple of viewers who have committed to donate money to charity. If I hit that goal, I'm going to give myself 3 different attempts. I actually have to plan that out. One of my attempts is either going to be when I very first get into Vegas, which is like the last couple of days in May, or on my birthday, which happens to be June 6th. So that's going to be my first attempt at it. And then afterwards, my attempts are going to be after the 10K Big O, the $1,500 Big O, and things like that. And then I have to ask myself, what kind of mental fortitude am I going to have if I do really well in either of those tournaments? And say I final table one of them, or I get down to the final 3 tables and I get a decent payday, particularly like on the 10K, how motivated am I going to be to sit there for a 100 to 10K buy-in? Versus if I bust out of those tournaments and just say I don't cash in any tournaments whatsoever, which is possible. Believe it or not, it's possible. I do not envy tournament grinders for a living. I have so much respect for people who play tournament poker for a living. I don't know how you guys do it, because the swings, don't get me wrong, the swings in cash are horrible, but if I'm having a bad cash session, I can just get up and walk away. Where if you're in a tournament and you're the chip leader and then you blow a bunch of chips, you got to sit there and you got to grind it back. And I'm trying to, embrace it. I mean, I've only been focusing on tournaments, honestly, for like the last 5 to 7 years. And when I say focus, I mean incorporating it as part of my repertoire. I didn't even play tournaments or focus on tournaments. I played them as kind of hobbies, if you will. But they are really a different beast. And so for that reason, if you are going to the World Series of Poker, let me give you guys some advice. And I'm going to give you advice if this is your first time going to the World Series or if you've been there several times. This advice will hold true. First of all, if it's your first time going to Vegas during the World Series of Poker, one of the most important things you can do is plan. And you need to plan out what tournaments you want to play in, and then plan on if you need multiple bullets in those tournaments. The other thing you need to do is make sure you have enough money, because the buy-ins are a little bit steeper. They're $1,500 buy-ins, $2,500 buy-ins. There's a couple $600 and $1,000 buy-ins, but for the most part, you want to plan on 3 bullets per tournament if it allows that. And if you don't have 3 bullets into that tournament, I would recommend play cash and swap and narrow your tournament selection down to less. And the reason why is because if you give people like Sean D recently, I think he had 13 bullets in the $3,500 Texas tournament. If you give that person an opportunity to have 5, 10, 15 bullets, or you give myself an opportunity to have 3, 4, 5 bullets, compared to your 1, it's going to be really hard for you to run it up. Now, that doesn't mean you can't. Heck, there's a guy down in Florida. I can't remember what his name was. I know he plays in Black Hawk. He won 3 tournaments and placed 2 seconds. He was like 5 for 5. Kid was just killing it. And what was funny is we were playing deuce to 7 triple draw, and he was limit, and he was on his 6th bullet limit. And when he got up after his 5th bullet, I kind of laughed and I said, it's funny. I said, that kid is running so hot, but he keeps firing away. I respect him. I said, but he has no idea what he's doing in deuce to 7 triple draw. And I had a guy at the table who got really offended for the kid. And he said, oh, I bet you won't say that to his face. He's a much better poker player than you. And here's how you handle adversity, if you will. Or when somebody is one of your haters, which this guy clearly was one of my haters. When he goes, oh, he's just a much better poker player than you. Did I get offended? Did I defend my honor? No, I just said, okay, you have a right to your opinion. And he goes, I bet you won't say that to his face. Well, the guy would have lost that bet, because the next time I saw the kid, when he rebought, he ended up going to a different table. I ended up busting, and the kid ended up shipping the deuce to 7, which is great. I call him a kid. He's probably like 27, 28 years old. Maybe he's like 24. I don't know. But the next day when I saw him in the big bet tournament, I told him, I said, hey, man, there's a guy who got really offended for you because he didn't think I would say it to your face. And I said, but I don't need to tell you you had no idea what you're doing with deuce to 7 triple draw. You already knew that. And he laughed and he agreed. Now, he knew enough to play aggressive. And reflecting back upon it, playing aggressive in tournaments is something that is key. If you have multiple bullets, play aggressive, especially early on when you have the opportunity to rebuy. And, you know, I will tell you that he did play Big O really well. He did mention that was one of his key games, so I will give credit where credit's due. He did play Big O really well. He did win 3 tournaments. He got 2 seconds. Hell, he did way better than I did. So who am I to criticize, right? I'm just some asshole wearing this fucking cap, you know, just talking to my viewers right now. But my point is he had a plan to fire multiple bullets. And even if you have somebody who has a basic understanding of the game, for example, deuce to 7 triple draw, I saw a lot of times where he was drawn to a 9 low. It's just something I would not do in a tournament. In a cash game, heads up, there's going to be some times where I do that, player dependent. But for the most part, I'm going to start opening with an 86 low, 3 to an 86, or I need a deuce in my hand, a deuce and an 8, or a deuce and a 7. But he was opening a lot with like 9-7-3, 9-7-4, and congrats, kudos to him. It was working for him. So again, who am I to criticize? But my point being is if you give somebody an opportunity to have multiple bullets in a tournament and you only have 1, you are unlikely to cash, unlikely to get to the final table, unlikely to make a deep run. Now, given Wayne won the big bet tournament, I got second. How we approached the final table was completely different. Wayne was a short stack a good portion of the tournament. Wayne plays amazing short stack poker. He is honestly a better short stack poker player than I am. I lose patience. I'm like, fuck it. I got the right odds. Let's go with it. I play deep stack poker, and I think Wayne would agree with this. better than Wayne does. And that's okay. I'm a little bit more comfortable with deep stack poker. It's something that I believe all poker should be deep stack. I don't like caps on buy-ins at all. I think if you want to play a 1-3 game and sit down with 10 grand, more power to you. Whatever. It doesn't really, you know, affect my play at all because I'm used to playing against big stacks. So how we approach the table, the final table was completely different. He had a short stack. I had a monster stack. And that's okay, you know. But my point is if you give somebody multiple bullets to be able to run a chip stack up so that way they can kind of coast or they can have a really good opportunity, the people who have bigger stacks going into the final table or into the final 3 or 4 tables have a better opportunity to ladder up and to leapfrog and to get to the final table, okay? So if you're going to Vegas for the first time, have a plan, be prepared, bring enough money, okay? And you don't want to be the guy, and this is something that happens every year in the series. I'm playing PLO at the win. Somebody goes bust, somebody runs out of money. You know they're a fish. They're clearly a fish. They're a whale. And then they go, does anybody have PayPal or Venmo or Cash App? Like, and I've been approached by those guys. And if I know them, if I've played with them long enough, I'll be like, yeah, you can PayPal me 3 or 4 grand. I've got 3 or 4 grand on me or 3 or 4 grand worth of chips. Here you go. But you don't want to be that guy because it puts you in a position where you might be in a really juicy game and you're not going to be able to buy back in because you didn't bring enough money. So the first step, have a plan. Second step, stick to the plan. Third step, make sure you bring enough money. Now, that's really what you should know about Vegas. Stuff that's been going on here. Again, I'm getting my mental game prepared. I've quit smoking pot on a regular basis. I don't know if I'm going to smoke again. It's been positively impactful on my game. Premium Hand Sean and I made a commitment to each other that we were going to stop smoking. So far, I'm winning that bet. When it comes to tournaments, I'm more focused when I'm not smoking, and I also quit drinking for the most part. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to smoke or I'm not going to drink. If I'm playing a cash game and you have a doobie, yeah, I'll join you. I'm not going to say no. If you're buying drinks, I'll join you. If I'm in a tournament, not going to join you. I'm going to stay focused. I'm not going to smoke. I'm not going to drink during tournaments. It's something that I offered 40% of myself to my viewers as a package. I sold out within about a week, maybe 10 days or so. I had one person say, hey, Professor, I can't afford the 10% that I wanted. He dropped out. I had somebody else pick up right away. So, yeah, 40% of my action is sold. It's something I don't normally do. It's something that I've decided to do. And I'm hoping that I can pay my investors back handily. And I think if you're taking action, you owe it to your investors to be the most prepared that you possibly can be. And so I've done plenty of yoga, plenty of meditation. I'm eating healthier, sleeping better. Maybe not sleeping better, but... So there's been a lot that's been going on. I apologize about not putting out a video recently. I know it's been a month, but there's good things that are going to come from this. And again, it's one of those things when I weigh it, I have to weigh what's going to reach my goals and benefit my family the most. And one of the things that I want to do is I need to get a place down south, Florida, Georgia, Texas, Vegas. So that way I have a winter home and a summer home. And the more and more I look at it, it just means I need more money. I just need to win more tournaments. I already own 5 houses, just so you guys know. And I need to get a 6th. But my 6th house is going to be probably more expensive than 3 of my other houses combined. Because when you look at Hollywood, Florida, for example, the housing prices are like 400, 500 grand. And if you look in Vegas, it's like $300,000-$400,000. It's ridiculous. So that's where I'm at right now, is I'm trying to make a big impact on the series and on my family's future. My wife and I, our future. So I hope you guys can respect that. Now, here's another thing I want to talk about, because there's been a few topics of discussion. When you're in Vegas, be careful with scam artists, okay? People who are cheaters, liars, or thieves. And it's not just people. There's like software programs out there that I would worry about. But for example, if somebody says, hey, I want to Venmo you money, keep in mind they can make an argument with Venmo that's fraudulent. So don't Venmo people money. Somebody's going to send you PayPal and they send it goods and services. They can refund it because goods and services is like a business, and they can say, hey, I need a refund, and they can arbitrate and dispute it. Not really sure what you can do with Cash App. I've sued Cash App twice. That's my opinion on Cash App. Can't really talk about it. That's all I'm going to say because we've settled out of court. So that's what I'm going to say about Cash App. If it comes to like somebody wants to send you crypto, only accept Bitcoin. I had somebody before send me USDT, $6,000, and somehow it went back. It went away after getting the confirmation. So there's plenty of scammers, cheaters, and thieves out there that you do need to be worried about in Vegas. You know, and it's one of those things you just got to watch out for. I told you guys before, I think I have, I got jumped one time in Vegas. I had 3 people beating on me while all the locals were recording me. I had $30,000 in cash on me. They were trying to rob me. And then all 4 of us got arrested. Because if you chase after somebody after they beat you to a bloody pulp and you chase after them, that apparently is a crime in Vegas. So who knew? In any case, I hope this video finds you guys well. I'm glad I can give you guys an update. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe. It does help the channel. And, you know, if you guys are looking for some online play, I can't stress enough, be wary out there. Stick to somebody that you know or somebody that you trust. There's plenty of people out there that, like I said, are liars, scammers, and thieves. It just is what it is. There's lots of online clubs that pop up, and they're not solvent. They give people credit, and they don't have the money to back up paying out everybody. That still goes on today, which is really unfortunate. And then there's botting and collusion, which just drives me nuts. Now, there's a lot of new websites that are coming up, and I've had discussions with most of them. Some of them have been good. Some of them have been really bad. There's new sites that are coming up. They tend to promise a lot of things. I don't know if they're going to deliver on it, many of them. But, you know, the KYC is a new term that's being thrown around in the poker community. KYC means know your customer. I think that's great. I hope all the sites do that. Know your customer means they're verified with a birth date, social security number, or a driver's license number, or phone number, and an address, things of that nature. I am kind of curious how some of these sites are going to KYC, know their customer for sure, versus somebody just going to a headstone, getting a name and a date of birth, and putting it up there. Because guess what? That's how the CIA used to get information and create fake identities and things of that nature. So don't ask me how I know that. It's not important. But yeah, if you guys do see me in Vegas, come up to me. I do have the Play Smart and Run Like a God coin protectors. Also, I have the Etsy store, of course, 10 Commandments of Parliament Omaha. We also have some hoodies that are on there. One that says fuck with F-A-W-K. For those of you who know, you know. And I think that's about it. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. I'm looking forward to it. If you see me, get a selfie with me, shake my hand. I'm very personable. I had one person, again, it's haunting me to this day because I wish I could find out who it was, but he said to me, and I was stuck $3,000 in Chicago. He goes, man, you're nothing like you are on your videos. You're really quiet. And I'm like, what? I'm like, one of my viewers is calling me quiet? I'm like, that's something I've never been accused of before. I was stuck $3,000 at the time, and I was really focused trying to get myself out of the hole. So if you do see me at a table really quiet, I'm either really tired or really stuck. If I'm up, I can guarantee you I'm not being quiet. If I'm even stuck a little, probably still not quiet. But yeah, definitely say hi to me in Vegas. This isn't going to be my last video before Vegas, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on why it's been taking me so long. Other reason, I also switched over to Mac. Going from PC to Mac, The video editing, I've just been playing around with it right now because I'm still trying to learn the differences in Mac. But let me tell you, it's a lot faster and it's a lot better. So it should give me more time to make more videos. And also, Hollywood Hard Rock, they are by far one of the best locations to play tournament and cash poker. I just wish they had a 5-5-10 PLO4, and I also wish that they had Big O a little bit more recently. But Wayne and I are currently in the process of trying to bring Big O to a regular location on a daily basis at the Las Vegas Strip Casino. Won't tell you which one because we're currently going back and forth right now, but hopefully we can get some things in the works. But if you're not in Vegas and you want a great place to play poker, go down to Hollywood Hard Rock. I plan on going there pretty much every 3 months, which is also the reason why I need a house down there. But I think that's about it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. I will be posting more. I'm going to do a deuce to 7 and a Badoogie advanced play on a chalkboard series. Hopefully I'll get that out before Vegas. I'm pretty sure I will, but for the time being, everybody, play smart and run like a god.